Hi, everybody. My name is Harry Jacobs, and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to my channel today. Today, we're going to do a couple of things in our discussions. First off, we're going to talk about quality of life and show you these magnificent minis that I got from West Woodbury for my Die in the Dungeon game. Then, secondly, we're going to talk about just some things I had around my room while I was cleaning it, just to show you some things that I use in my gaming experience to make my experience better sometimes or to help organize my games. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So hope you will enjoy it. Let's go down and get started.
So I just wanted to talk a moment about the quality of components in some games. And this particular game, of course, is Die in the Dungeon. And this is by West Woodbury. And I'll just show you the box really quickly here. If I can get it just under the lights a little bit here. There we are, Die in the Dungeon. That's not the whole box because my camcorder is focused pretty low on the table here. But I just wanted to show you the neat difference between what came in the box and what Wes set aside for me and sent me a little later on. Now, of course, I did pay for them, so. But I want to just show you the difference. This is what came in the box. Now, I am a big fan of these acrylic standees, and they seem to be getting more and more popular, and I really appreciate when designers go for a little bit of quality than the normal norm that they give. And so just wanted to point these things out to you, and I want to just thank Wes. Now, yes, it's a little smaller, but there's so much cooler in that three-dimensional sort of value, and they're pre-painted, of course, and the back is good too. But I think all in all, I just wanted to thank Wes, and I just wanted to show you how excited I am to get that. And I'm going to be putting a little bit more of these things maybe on I want to show off a little bit more quality of life, because I've really been talking about the quality of life of games and the fear that I'm having. And I talked about this a little last week on Tuesday on my Coffee and Kickstarter, was that we're going to start to see games stay in that huge expensive price range, but cheapen the components. And I really don't want, I wouldn't want to see that. Now, I don't mind paying extra, and I did. I paid extra for those. But I mean, this should be the norm. This should be the norm. These plastic standees, I'd rather pay $10 more to get beautiful plastic standees than crappy cardboard standees. Now, that's not to say there aren't some good standees. Now, look what Maximum Apocalypse did. You do get the cardboard standees, and then if you buy in, you can get the miniatures, and which is, of course, what I did that. But I really appreciate that. And if I showed you the other components of this game, you would be amazed at the quality of the game. And this game wasn't particularly expensive. Now, if I compared now I played Destinies a little bit earlier, and you can see these are cardboard place counters. See how thick they are? The Destiny cardboard aren't cardboard, they're just cardstock. Now, granted that, it was a $45 game, so, yeah. But for $70 or $60, I could have had cardboard. And because he did it in a weird size, you really can't sleeve them. And I'm concerned about the wear. And I think Destiny's is certainly, that style of game is going to be good. That's the one with the QR codes. And there's currently one on Kickstarter right now. I think it's Telemore. And I mentioned that in my Coffee and Kickstarter last week. And I'll tail that in later on in the end credits. I'll throw in the link to my Coffee and Kickstarter. But I just wanted to show you what can be done. And now this price point for Die in the Dungeon wasn't particularly expensive. And there were all quality components. I mean, I love the counters. Look at these. Can you hear them? Acrylic counters. So much different than the normal game. And it really makes the game special when they start doing those types of things. So anyway, we'll move on to the next, whatever the next thing is. I'm doing this sort of out of sequence because I was cleaning my room today. So this is sort of these little bits that I'm going to show while I'm cleaning the room. So we'll call it Harry's Thursday Clean the Room video. So next up is how he cleans his room is the iron clays. This is from the Roxley Company, and it's the Baron's collection. These are actually clay counters with a iron middle. And you can see they come in these great boxes. There we are. They come in a number of different denominations. 1, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, 100, and 500. So if I was playing poker and high stakes, I would pull these out. I generally just use them for regular old games. They are of a great quality, and you can hear they have a nice sound to them, and they are of a good quality. Best of all, they're actually they have a steel or an iron clay, an iron core, so you can see they actually stick. That is so neat. There is weight here. Again, here's what makes games, the quality of life of games so wonderful is when they have these products out and go, hey, here, buy it, consumer. Now they are expensive, but I think in terms of the quality, you got to pay. You get what you pay for. So these are another thing. These are just another thing that I bought for quality of life for my own collection. Now, granted, I'm cleaning up my room. This was not lost or buried because I've been using it. It was up on the corner of my table. But I haven't done anything like this before. And I thought, show some of this stuff off that's sitting around, on my shelves that I use. So that is iron clays. So here's a little quality of life item for any of you who recognize this kind of a castle and the colors of the dice and maybe the icons. Here's a crown, hatchet. This is for feudum. Now they should have included this with the base game. This would have been an amazing quality of life. Now, granted, I think this cost me $22 for all the dice. But for anybody who's been into guild management in feudum, and if you don't play feudum, just skip over this. It is one of the most fiddly little thing that you do in the game because it's constantly changing. Every time somebody takes a turn, the guilds will change. And keeping track of them with dice is a great idea, and I have been doing that because, as I said, I have a bucket of dice somewhere that I use. But someone said, hey, why don't we do this in player colors and put icons in for the one and match the colors? So what a great idea. Again, quality of life. These are the things that make quality components. This should have been included in the game as far as I'm concerned, but you know what? Feudum is an expensive game. I don't mind, this being can I do it? Quote, add-on. So just for fun, this is used for feudum, and I love it. It is a good quality add-on item to a game that just takes it up to the next notch. So, moving on. Next up in the how do I make things better in Harry's world? And me flapping around like a little birdie. I'm cleaning. That's not a good sign. Probably means my room is getting full of games, and my wife is going to be watching me. So, shh. Don't tell her that my room is full of games. But anyway, these are those star counters. Now, I did mention I am doing Dungeons of Infinity, and I often use these for counting, how to differentiate. I will use them for turns for something. So if something needs 2 turns before it goes away, I'll put two of these gems on the card or on the table or above the card, just to mark that it's been used. Or I'll use it to, if I've exhausted a card perhaps, or an indicator of some sort. Very, very handy to have. Now, what they're in, believe it or not, are just restaurant portion cups. There they are. I went to, I've been working with a local restaurateur, and, there's a boards game cafe coming, and we've been playing with his games, and we've been organizing his games, and I usually use geek boxes, and then I came in the next time, and he said, well, look what I did, and he had these in 4-ounce portion cups. Now, these are not 4-ounce portion cups. These are the 2-ounce portion cups. But I've been buying geek boxes. Geek boxes are like $3 for 3. These are I get 100 of these. 100 of these in a pack for like $10. why would I buy geek boxes? So I've started using these more and more. They don't always fit everything, but for counters like this, they're wonderful. And it makes life so much easier and more organized. So again, just one of these things that Harry's keeping around for quality of life and what's being kept around, disorganizing my room, and as I try to organize my room today. So again, these are very handy to have. Not only the gems, and I bought these off of Board Game Geek, I think. But you can buy them off the Meeple Source too, I believe. So those are two good sources for these little knickknacks and things like that. Anyway, so that is another thing that Harry has done in Harry's organizing his room. So, I actually had lost this box. I had bought 2 copies of Deck Box Dungeon, and it disappeared on me, and then I did clean my room, and guess what? There it is. Now, I did buy a second copy. Now, I just want to show you the difference if I had in the quality of how I'm storing it versus how it came in the box. I think something like this would have been neat. Now, this was, I think, $20 from my local FLGS, from Ultimate Guard. I think it's mainly used for Magic, but there we go. You can see there's the geek boxes, there's the cards all organized in a nice magnetic case. Bang, great for travel. You can crunch it, you can drop it, and there's not going to be any issues. As opposed to the deck box, here it is, that's going to get crushed, mangled, worn out, and I haven't opened these, but you can see the tiny little meeples and there's little tiny dice in there. There we are. And that is how the box, this game came. So, and now I'm not going to be able to put it back in the box because of the way it was stored. Phew, I think I got it. Oh, phew, I got it. But anyway, so I thought show you, hey, what else am I doing? So, Ultimate Guard. If you have something that you want to store cards in, this is really kind of cool. And this is great. This was great for one deck dungeon. Actually, I didn't think about this. Other than the cards are too big and it'll come to me. But this is a good way to store cards. You could probably put some of your deck builders in here, like the smaller ones. But the way my deck builders are going, we need big boxes. But anyway, just another handy quality of life thing that's sitting around in my room with a game in it. And just a couple other things that I have around the house that I collect. These foam things that come in with some of the games or some of the storage when they come in the boxes, they're really nice because what I normally do is use them for card holders. I just did Dungeons of Infinities, and I was able to put 4 decks in, and basically I put a deck in this way with my hands so that they slant a little bit this way, and that way I can pick the deck up. It keeps them organized and they don't get smacked around the table a bit, and I just put it off to the side. You didn't even see it in that game because there wasn't enough room on the top. And lastly, I want to talk about dice. One needs dice. I use dice for counters and a pound of dice, and usually you can pick them up for $30 to $40, $25, and you have all different colors. There's kind of like they make a big thing of it. It came with a special full set of something, but I'm sure there's 2 or 3 special sets in there as well. And so I just thought I'd put those out, dice and a little container. Now you can use it for other things too. I sometimes use them in the boxes for storage containers. So if you get enough bigger box, this actually makes a really good storage container. So there you go. And that is another handy tip.
Well, we are here looking at our Kickstarters. So, first up, Hero Realms Digital. Now, normally I don't do digital games, but I have the Heroes Realm in a physical box or a physical card game, as you might want to say. And you can see it is 86,000 with 1,100 backers, and it's still ticking up. Only 9 days to go. For those who haven't played Heroes Realms, it's similar to Star Realms, and there's lots of expansions. There's cooperative play, competitive play. There's a campaign play. Now, I don't know what the gems are all about. So if there's two basic tiers, you can just get the regular tier, which gives you the $25 tier, which gives you the beta access, the digital base set, the cleric, the fighter, the ranger, the thief, and the wizard. $30 in gems. I'm assuming that is how you buy upgrades and your name on a username on an app credit, which is pretty cool. If the bigger version is you basically get alternative arts for each of the classes and get unlimited gems and unlimited expansions for the life of the product, and that's for $99. So so it's 127 US. I doubt very much I would look at that because it's just too expensive. And for the life of the product, what does that mean now? If you've ever played Star Realms, you know that Star Realms has been around for quite a while, both on Steam and on digital platforms like iPhone and Google Android things. So they've got some playthroughs. So it looks good, and I would love to do it. And I think I might back the lower tier just so I can play the game online rather than physically. As you can see, though, we have pit fights, online challenges, online rankings versus the AI, which is what I would like. Cooperative mode. So there's lots here. It looks like it's going to mirror the physical game. So I think it's a good go if you have Steam. I don't know what else there would be what other platforms are going to have it on, but for $32 US, and it's going to be delivered in August. So it looks like a quick money raiser for them. So, and I think it's well worth looking at in terms of a back if you are into digital games of board games. But I don't usually do it. But hey, today I just thought this one would be the first one I would consider backing, only because I love Hero Realms and I love Star Realms. I even like Cthulhu Realms, and I wish they had expanded on that. But I believe that was different authors, and nothing ever happened of it. But not that there's not a lot of Cthulhu games out there, and you can see this ticking up at $86,000. So it looks good on them. So I ran across this one this morning. Look at that. 794,000. This is going to cross 800,000, if not more. I think I saw it last week, 6 days ago, almost $10,000 backers. The Orlog, the dice game, apparently it's played in Assassin's Creed. I don't know a lot about it. It's 12 to 15 minutes play. It's 2 players, ages 8 and plus. So I don't know, two hard plastic bowls, acrylic dice sets, cardboard tokens, stones, favor tokens. Looks like $39 is for the US for just the basic. And then you get this all-in pledge, the tavern pledge, which is $199 US. Which, yeah, here, get this, get that. We're going to give you lots of extras. I'm sure there'll be add-ons too. You can see these stretch. They're blowing through these stretch goals. So this might be an interesting game. I am not going to back this myself because I don't see any reason to it. I don't even know what it's all about, nor do I really care that much. So it's either $49 or $249. It's either like get this much or this much. So just something out there to look for. You'll have to make up your own minds. Oh, there's the add-ons. So lots of add-ons. So you can spend more money than, look at this. That's what's driving up the prices, this horn replica. Yeah, I don't need a horn replica. For people who like collectibles, hey, this might be it for them. So I just thought Orlog's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Orlog the dice game, a real version of Orlog the dice game featured in Assassin's Creed. And it's officially licensed by Ubisoft. So I don't know. It looks I don't know who's actually second created. So they're doing really well. I don't even know if they would expect it to have almost 10,000 backers for this one. Moving on, Dust to Dust, the deck building game. They're halfway through their goal. 26 days to go. I like deck builders. That's what kind of caught my mind, or caught my eye, I should say. I looked through this. I looked through the how to play video, and basically it's your basic deck builder. You start out with 10 cards. You recruit cards in a market that looks like it's an open market, like you see in Dominion or other genres like this. So you have a limited number of cards that you can add, and then you attack to try to get these relics against the other opponent. This is first created, so way to go, Spencer. But other than that, let's just go through it. It's $50 for the Wellspring Edition, $80 for the Flame Braid that gives you mats. That's the only difference between the game and the various levels is just mats, artwork. Do you want to be in the book? Do you want to shake my hand? Mountaintop Edition, what do they offer? I'll play with game with the designer. That never sways me. The artwork looks good. There's no previewers or reviewers that I know that are in this, which is a bit of a warning. There's no Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but they're saying November 2021. I'm saying there's no way. We're probably looking spring. Shipping, U.S. shipping will cost $10 and $15 for Canada, $20 to $25 for a $50 game. I got to say no. But there is nothing new. They're not bringing anything new to this deck building mechanics. And that's one of the things I do look for when I want to add a new deck build. I'm going, what are you offering me here that is new and exciting? And I don't see anything new and exciting here that says, oh my God, this is so unique. I must buy. So have a look at this game, decide whether or not you need to back it. I do hope it backs for the first time creator because I like to see success. I don't see anything here that, from a collectible point of view and my point of view, that I would want to collect it. There's no solo mode, which I really enjoy, but that is certainly not a showstopper for me. But I just don't feel it brings anything new. And that's the biggest reason why I don't want to back this. Nothing new in this genre. Nothing unique other than the theme, perhaps. I'm not going to talk a lot about this only because it's Vita Lasarda. And yeah, I like Vita Lasarda games. And I usually say, well, I don't support the big guys. I will make an exception in this case. On Mars, Alien Invasion. If you've never played On Mars, it's my second favorite Lasarda game next to Lisboa. Eagle Griffin's had 42 games created. As I said, I don't normally go in for the big pledges by the big publishers, but in this case, because I love Vita Lasarda and his games, this was a no-brainer for me. I have supported. I got the $49 pledge level because I already have the base game. And that is all I'm going to say about that. Have a look. If you've already got On Mars, this is a no-brainer. As far as I'm concerned, it does have a solo mode, which is kind of interesting. That's going to change the solo mode that exists. We have Alien Invasions. So it looks like they're going to do it in chapters. So it looks like a little bit of campaign, custom two-piece insert, beacon promo cards. There's a lot here, I think, in terms of, if you want both games, it's $174. Thank God I have my copy already. And as you can see, it's well supported by just about every reviewer and previewer that I know or watch. You can play it on Tabletopia. This is a good campaign. You're always going to find a good campaign. There's some How to Play On Mars, Paul Grogan. He had something to do with the rules, I think, or his team did. I don't know if he necessarily wrote the rules because he set me straight a couple of times. I didn't write the rules. My team did. So I don't think there's a lot of risk to this. They will publish, and they have already blown past their $95,000 goal. Here's an interesting Rostaerium, a technical cooperative card game. A cooperative for 2 to 4 players in a brand new science fiction universe. You travel a solar system in the year 2193. There's 42 backers, 25 days. I believe it's a first-time creator, yeah. It looks interesting. Lots of cards, hero cards, location cards, monster cards, treasure cards, lots of cards, more cards. It's a card game. I think a lot of first time creators are really going in for card games. So lately, I've seen a ton of card games hit Kickstarter. It's going to be hard to differentiate between all these different card games now. They've prepared 5 stretch goals, but they don't tell us what those are. That's a risk on his part. The biggest risk right now is, again, there are no reviewers, no previewers, no Tabletopia, no TTS. So I don't know whether it's going to back. I mean, sure, it's 20,000 bucks, 42 backers. I generally have the feeling that if you don't back 50 or 60% in the first day or two, you are just not going to make it. And that's tough. Knowing what I know about the industry now and the maximum limits of games you have to buy. So this probably is a first time. This is a first time creator, first time experience. I think it probably is worth coming back and this time getting some reviewers and previews. And I don't know why more of the designers, first time designers, don't go to board game reviewers and media on Facebook. There are a ton of us that would take these games and review them, preview them, unless there's no prototypes. In which case, then it's like, well, why would I take a chance on this game? So again, I can't guide you here. I am not going to back that for the reasons I've mentioned. Basically, no reviewers, no tabletop, tabletopia. It just doesn't make sense to me as a content creator that I don't see anything here that says this is a must-have game. So hopefully, whoever it is, RS2 Rost Entertainment comes back perhaps. They were just founded last year, so and when did they say they're going to deliver this? February 2022. Again, that's very optimistic for a first-time creation in a card game like that, unless they're doing something in North America. I would say you're talking June or July next year. I think minimally you're always going to take a year, and I would say even 18 months now is the norm. Next up, Beyond the Rift, a Paradition's Mouth card game. Now, I don't know this game, but I do like card games. And again, here I am, another card game. And there's a number of card games. And what's going on here? Let me just refresh my page. It's like it's weird. Okay, there it is. So what is it? It is a challenging cooperative adventure game for 1 to 4 players. I like the idea of cooperative because that means it's soloable. 15 days to go. It's raised 14,000. They have obviously funded. There's 15 created, so I believe they've already had Predation Mouth. It's 1 to 4, 13 plus 60 to 90 minutes. Fully cooperative adventure game, which we already tried. Why back now? A deeper playable adventure. Oh, 20 scenarios, always good. Low player count, so I like that. Rich cooperation, unique decks. Each hero has its own deck. You can see here's a one-stop co-op stop. That's always a good indication. Slicker drips. Who else is out here? Let's play. We've got, here's the player board. So we've got unique decks for each of the players, a rule book, a scenario book, stretch goals. So pretty modest in terms of what they're trying to do here. Depending on where you go and what you buy, Canada is $18 to $33, depending on the treasure. So what is treasure is $139. That gives you, that's a retailer pledge. Okay. This isn't even available to Canada, it doesn't look like. So right away, I'm going, no, thank you. This October 2022, that's more realistic. $59 for the Lonesome Gamer. So that's good in Canada, but I can't get the Perdition's Mouth. I can't get the Lands of Zanzibar. What's the treasure? Let's go down to the treasure. Pledge Mountain, which is retail. So just because I can't get the Lands of Zanzibar, because I would like to get them all. And, quite frankly, I'm not going to spend $18 for a $35 game. I'm sorry. No, thank you. I was really hoping there'd be a little bit more richness in this week's Kickstarter stuff, but obviously there is not. And I guess it was slim pickings this week. There are some games out there that I would love to remind you about. I think it's Teledor, which is another game kind of like Destiny's, except it's a dungeon crawl. So look for that. There's a few other games out there, but other than probably Vita Lasarda's Alien Invasion, not much is out there today or this year, or this week, I should say, this year. Anyway, that is all I'm going to say today. If you like what you see in these coffee and Kickstarters, please like, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content, and if you want to be notified, hit the bell. Ding, 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 ding. I'll see you all on the flip side, folks, on the flip side.